Hello everyone, this is KABEER Hayyat. Hope you all are doing well. Today we have very special guest. Her name is Cynthia Stone. So let's welcome her. Hello ma'am, how are you?
I'm amazing. How are you, Kabir?
I am also fine. Thanks for your precious time. Ma'am, kindly introduce yourself towards those who don't know you.
Absolutely. It would be an honor. First of all, thank you for having me on this wonderful platform. It is an honor to be here. I am Cynthia Stone, the Honorary Doctor of Love. Now, I wasn't always this honorary doctor. I started off as a young girl who wanted to be the change she wanted to see the world, even when I didn't even know what that meant. I would walk in a room and I would feel people's pain, and I'd want to transmute that somehow. I'd want to heal them, I'd want to help them. And that led me into the helping profession. I went into psychology and realized that wasn't the key to it. I didn't want to distribute pills for everyone's ills. Not that there's a problem with that, it just wasn't speaking to my soul. I then went on to pursue community work, which was awesome because all of the great leaders that I aspired to be like, Jesus, Mahatma Gandhi, all these different amazing, beautiful souls were all leaders. So I was like, this is perfect. I ended up pursuing that. And then I got my bachelor in science in human services counseling and went on to become a master social worker. After dedicating my life for over a decade, I realized that I was pouring into people that often were not ready to be loved in the capacity I wanted to love them. And that prompted me to go within. And when you go within, you can never go without. I turned it over to a higher power. And the next day, after working over a decade with the homeless, I was told by the homeless, why are you here with us? You should be in Hollywood, which I thought was the craziest thing I ever heard. And then I ended up doing just that. Although it didn't happen overnight. I was kind of, okay, well, maybe I should do this, and maybe I should do that. But then I noticed that no matter what I did, whether it was post-Hurricane Katrina, disaster relief, third world Guyana, doing literacy training, I was always being followed by this video camera. So I'm like, okay, I get the message. I ended up pursuing Hollywood and ended up having a great time there. And when I came back and shared my story with people, they're like, you need to be sharing this on stages. So that made me to public speak. And then I also ended up contributing to books and became an international best-selling author. So that is a bit about me.
You are, of course, versatile lady, and thanks for your precious time. Ma'am, as you know, today our topic is education versus skill. So, first of all, I wanna ask, what is the main difference between education and skill?
Well, I would say that, first of all, when it comes to education, it's usually more formal education. Education is something, obviously, that you can purchase and that it will give you established credibility in the outside world. Skills, I consider more of a God given gift. You know, when you have talents, you have skills. Usually they are innate. There's something that you didn't go to school for. You'll often notice that you're like, wow, you know, I don't know where this came from. I never studied this, but I'm naturally good at it. That's kind of what happened in my life, but we'll get to that later.
Ma'am, can you define in your own words what is skill and how we can enhance our skills for adopting any profession?
Absolutely. I think the key to discovering your skills, your talents, your gifts is being able to go within. And what I mean by that is actually looking at who you are. Now, if you notice throughout your life, you might have been a natural, like when I was a kid, for example, I would draw, I would draw, I would draw, I would draw. And I would have all these different illustrations. I never went to school for it. And they were really good. They weren't just like, chicken scratch or whatever. And so this is something that I didn't, go to school to enhance. It was something that was innate. So it's really looking at, where are your strengths? Maybe you're someone who's a natural great communicator. Maybe you have the propensity to make people laugh. Maybe you're somebody who is a deep thinker and that causes you to delve into philosophies. It's really about looking at who you are. And sometimes people have a trouble with that. So what I do in a lot of coaching sessions is I have them do something where they're looking at movies, for example. And when they're watching movies, you're going to find that there are certain movies that make you cry. And when you look at those movies that are making you cry, when you actually, take out what it is about those movies that make you cry, those are usually keys to your heart virtues, your values. And when you're aware of your values, it can actually it correlates, it aligns with very often what your skills are. So for example, one of my all-time favorite movies is Once Were Warriors, which is not a very well-known movie. But what I really loved about it was that it was all about leadership, independence, stepping into your greatness. And what I found is that I have a natural propensity to lead. I'm a speaker. I'm somebody who has so much passion, wisdom to share with the world. And that gave me a clue of what my skills are. So it's really looking at your track record. Maybe people in your life have said, wow, you really should pursue this. You're a really good baker. Things like that. These are innate gifts. These are skills that you have. And once you become aware of them, then you can run with them. And that led me, when I was doing my work with the homeless and I gave it up to the higher power, when they told me you should go to Hollywood, I thought that was a really weird statement. And I wasn't aware of the skills that I had. And sometimes other people will see the skills that you have, even when you don't.
Of course, ma'am, you are absolutely right. And now I wanna ask how we can relate how we can relate importance of education and skill in our profession.
So important soft education and skills. So when it comes to actually pursuing your profession, you're going to notice, for example, like when I was turning it over to a higher power and I became an actor.
Yeah.
So when I became the actor, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm doing this. I don't have the skills, like I was talking myself out of it. And I ended up going ahead and doing it anyways and applying for an audition. And what had happened is that they were like, oh my gosh, you're a natural. Like, look at this skill you have. Like, how long have you been acting? And I was like honest with them. I'm like, honestly, I've never acted before in my life. Like, this is not something that I did. I was just shocked. I didn't know how to formulate my answers. And the thing is, like, once you become aware and people start giving you that feedback, like, wow, you have these skills, when you pair it with that. So my thing was that I had the soft skills, I had those present, but I didn't have the education. So what ended up happening is, as I immersed myself in the acting field, I started learning the terms. Okay, this is what slate means. This is what a monologue is. This is what, so I ended up starting to pair the two. It's really about taking that first step on the staircase, even if you don't see the full staircase. So it's about saying yes. Once you have it, it's about saying yes and acquiring as much information as you possibly can to support your grand vision. When I started on the path of healing, I was only with this desire to help people. I had this empathic nature, an innate skill, a gift that was given, bestowed by the Lord above for all of us. We all have this propensity to love. So I ended up pairing that with a desire to get the education to be able to be of the most service I possibly can. So that's why I didn't stop at community work. I went on and got my bachelor's. I went on and got my master's. I went on and became, an honorary doctorate. I also went on to get personal growth and development. That's what it's called. So when you pursue the path of excellence, when you're transforming your inner to make you a winner, as I always say, it's about saying yes to opportunities, yes to possibilities, and that will lead you on the trajectory where you are acquiring these skills. I ended up acquiring the skills of becoming a mastermind facilitator, an NLP practitioner, a life coach. So these are all things that happen along the pathway to saying yes and pairing skill with education.
Ma'am, in comment box, Mai Khan from Lahore, she wanna ask how the skill of student can be polished along with education.
Absolutely. It's a great question. Now, I would say that when it comes to being a student, I don't think we ever leave this realm. Like, I'm still a student. We are always both a student and a teacher. And I think it's about recognizing that our mind is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So it's about having an open mind and taking in information, but not necessarily taking everything you hear as gospel. And what I mean by that is always ask yourself, critical thinking here. One of the things they teach you in the master's degree is to think who benefits. Who benefits from this information? How is this, helping, serving me? Is this serving my greater goal? If it doesn't resonate with you, if you feel like, I want more information, say yes and do the further digging. One of the mentors that I had was a French teacher that had actually birthed a son. Well, he didn't birth a son, his wife did. But his son ended up going on to be a child advocate. And what happened was he was in school and he found that he was, learning, but it wasn't satisfying his deeper desire. He wanted to do something more. There was something more in him. And that's the beauty of school, is that when you have the right teachers, they'll encourage you to delve into the things that really excite you, and they might even help steer you in the right direction. Like, school is a great platform to learn the skills to be able to succeed, to pay attention, to focus, to discern, to do the work. And what happened with this child is he ended up taking the love of reading and going further. And he started going to the library and reading the newspaper. And this is something that his dad was like shocked about, like, oh, I didn't realize you were, but he wasn't reading local newspapers. He was reading global newspapers. That's why he went to the library. And this was before the internet, right? And so he ended up, oh my goodness, it was so cool. He ended up finding this story that really touched his heart. And this is, again, where those skills come in. He was like crying. He's like, this is unfair. And it was about child labor. And he was like, I don't think that this is right. I want to make a difference. So he went back home and he told his dad about it. And his dad said, you know what? I support you, whatever you want to do. And he went to his school and his teacher supported him. And they said, we support you, whatever you want to do. I think it's about really saying yes to what speaks to your heart and running with it. Education is about formulating new ideas in your mind and stepping into your greatness. So always remember that even if you're not good at every subject, there are certain subjects that you are gifted, you're skilled at, and the other ones you can work on. Everything can be learned. And we always get so excited about these computers, these phone computers, but the ultimate machine, the ultimate computer is this, and you can teach it anything. So just be patient with yourself, love yourself, and know that you have greatness with it.
Ma'am, you are absolutely right, and hope my Khan have got answered. And a lot of questions are there. Shasta Malik from Lahore, she wanna ask, education sometimes leads to skill and sometimes is a barrier. Is it true?
But can you repeat the question one more time? Sorry, you cut out.
Shasta Malik wanna ask, education sometimes leads to skills or sometimes is a barrier. Is it true?
I would say that the only limitations and barriers that are in school are not from the school system. They're not from the teacher. They're from us. And what I mean by that is we create our own barriers. We create our own limitations. When you open your mind and you say, yes, I can do anything. I believe in myself. I was terrible at math. Terrible growing up. And I said to myself, oh my gosh, I'm so bad at this subject. Like, I'm never going to do any good at it. And I would talk myself down, and I was a bully to myself. So really, it's about transforming that dialogue. When I started saying, you know what, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to take extra time and I'm going to try to learn it the best I can. And every day I'm just going to pour into it and just do the best I possibly can. Because you know what? Every baby had to learn to walk. And the walking skill is something you learn. And as you're crawling, you fall on your face when you try to walk. That's what happens. Failure is the fertilizer to success. So just recognize that you may not get it overnight. And some people will get it faster than others. But that doesn't mean that you are stupid or that there's a barrier for you. All it means is that you have your own journey. Just be patient with yourself, love yourself, and know that when the time is right, you will get exactly the information you need. Just be patient and honor yourself. That's the most important thing. There are no two people exactly alike. That's why we all have different fingerprints.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Someone here wanna ask, if a person has skill but no education, If a person has skills but no education, can she or he survive or improve his life?
Absolutely. You know, I believe that we come into this world with nothing and we leave with nothing. And the thing is that we call it nothing, but really it's everything. The Lord doesn't make any mistakes, and we were perfectly and wonderfully made. So when you come in with these skills, these God given talents, these are abilities that you have that were given to you as a gift. And I believe that the purpose of life is to find your gifts and to share them with the world, and that formal education is a great complement to what is already within you. But I do not believe that it is the be all end all. And we've seen countless examples in our lives, in the world, of the great leaders, some of the richest, most profound, prolific, amazing people that have not even gone to school or have dropped out. So it is a luxury. And if you can do it, awesome. But I don't believe that it is the be all end all. Really, inside of us is greatness, and all we need to do is believe in ourselves and step into our greatness with or without education. Because, my friends, education comes in many forms. You can go to school for it, but it also comes from just the lived experience. And that, my friends, can be even more profound, because that's where wisdom arises.
Thanks, ma'am, for your precious answer. Someone here wanna ask: psychology is being impacted by the ongoing conditions of the world, as COVID-19 is there, and so many problems are there with people. As your doctor, can you suggest something how we can tackle ourselves or mental health and or you can say behavior in these conditions?
Absolutely. I think that now is the time. This is actually almost, it reminds me of when you have, for example, if you're in your garden and you see all of a sudden there are deer or rabbits and they start eating all your precious food. Well, here in the Western society, this is common. And what we have to do is shoo them away, because this food is meant for the people. And similarly, I think that we're on a master reset where we have taken so much from this earth, and now it's time that we are inside. And what you're seeing outside is that the world is regenerating, that the earth is reborn again. There are like more amazing growth opportunities. Like the earth is rebuilding, it's reforming, it's resetting, it's allowing for the healing to happen. And as the earth heals, we are one with the earth. We are also healing. I think that so often what has happened up until this point is we've gone outside of ourselves to find happiness. We think that happiness comes from having the PhD, from having the car, from having the perfect lover, from having a well-behaved daughter, whatever it happens to be. But in reality, happiness comes from within. Happiness is a choice. And what is missing is that people keep going outside of themselves when all they need is to go inside. Like I had said before, we are perfectly and wonderfully made. And when we become aware of our gifts, our strengths, our abilities, then we don't need anything else or anyone else. Whenever you try to find happiness in something, you're going to find that it is unfulfilling. Why do you think that throughout your life, when you've gone and you've finally gotten the boat you've wanted, or the mate you've wanted, or you finally got the child you always wanted, it's never fulfilling? It never satisfies that hunger for that love, that perfection, that happiness that you seek. So you keep seeking more and more and more. And it's a never ending spiral, because what we're doing is trying to find outside what we already have within. So this is an opportunity for us to be in love with ourselves. And I don't mean it from an egotistical perspective. I mean it from a deep appreciation. They say that to love another, you must first love yourself. But most of us do not love ourselves. Most of us have started hating ourselves at some point or another in our life. Whether it's that we're not smart enough, we're not pretty enough, we're not strong enough, we're not, you can fill in the blanks. And it's about recognizing that you have everything you need, that you have gone through all of the struggle to get to where you are today, that, like photography, you develop from the negatives. And the only way to change your psychology is to change your self-talk. It's to start celebrating your blessings. It's to start appreciating your gifts and start recognizing that you, by your very nature, are a miracle.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. And at the time, we have to change ourselves because in COVID-19, we are very disturbed and it's a very panic time. And at these kind of sessions, we are conducted for you because we are trying to engage yourself with those people who are doing their work in their fields very honestly and very in best manners. Ma'am, I wanna ask here the common proverb these days is modern problem require modern solutions. You have listened a lot of times. Some people says modern problems require modern solutions. Do you agree with this statement?
Um, that's a good question. I guess I would have to understand more of the context. I mean, what kind of modern problems, modern solutions? I think that really my philosophy stems from the fact the entire world happens within us. That love, hate, pain, pleasure, it all happens from within. And it's only when we fix this that the outside world becomes changed, that we can love something without ever having seen it or touched it or be in the same world as it. We have loved ones that have passed on and we still love them. We hate people. We hold on to anger for wrongdoings that have been done to us, even when they're not even present, even when they've long since passed. Everything happens within us. So when we can transform the trauma, that is when issues get resolved. All problems in the world can be solved by solving first ourselves.
Here is Shaista Malik from Lahore, Pakistan. She wanna ask, what are the ways to develop up-to-date skills to move forward with the modern world?
The best thing to do when it comes to developing those skills is to create what I call a vision board. And you've probably heard people speak of it, but it really comes down to writing first down your goals. And I say not on the computer, but write it hand paper, paper and pen, whatever you have. You want to have that there. And then that allows you to transmute what's in here onto paper. It's a very powerful way of manifesting what you want in this world. And from there, I say put it on a vision board visually. In this way, it anchors you to create the life you want to live. So it's not about having an ambiguous vision, like I want to have modern skills for modern education. It's about saying, what do I want to contribute? How can I benefit society? I want to leave this world better on my way out than it was coming in. So what are the gifts that you want to share with the world? What is your grand vision for life? Then once you get clear on that vision, it's about taking the steps to learn about how to get there. So maybe you've always wanted to be a veterinarian, for example. So what you can do is on a platform such as this, which is awesome, you can interview veterinarians and you can find out, how did you get here? What steps did you have to take? Once you find out their ladder of success, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just follow along in the already set footprints and take your journey as well. It's about also being patient with yourself and recognizing that just because that's what you want doesn't necessarily mean that's your destiny. It's about being open to the possibility that perhaps there is a greater force at work that will direct you in the way that you need to be directed. It's always about having that patience, that love, and recognizing that the beauty of this world now is that we have the internet and we have education at our fingertips. And there's a lot to be said for going onto YouTube and hearing some of the deep thinkers, for reading. Reading is so important. Reading helps to fill your mind with ideas, but it's also about recognizing that you need balance and to empty yourself, to fill yourself only with positivity and things that will uplift you and get you further towards your goal. So just be careful of writing down what vision you have and taking steps every single day, even if they're little baby steps, to get closer to that goal. That will give you the right path for the right mindset that you need and have you get the education and the skills for the life that you want.
Ma'am, our session is going to end. In last, I wanna ask: technology is a vital component of modern era. How do you think we can promote creativity in our youth by using essential of technology? How can we engage ourselves with technology to match our footsteps with rest of the world?
I would say that it's amazing, this platform. You have the ability now to broadcast live. So I would say take advantage of the video platforms and to share your ideas, to share your messages with the world. The world needs more positivity. It needs to hear from the youth. You are the leaders of tomorrow. You are the young adults, the people that are going to be leading us into the new era. So it's really about getting your message heard, giving your voice out to countless people that aren't able to give out their voice. And maybe you're not a broadcaster, maybe you don't want a video, maybe you're a writer. Start writing, start blogging. This is so important. There are things you can do on crowdfunding programs too, where you can get an idea, you can get a group of people together, and then you can start spearheading your vision to come to life. You can create apps. There are so many different ways. I would say go on Facebook, create groups or Telegram or whatever speaks to your heart and start joining people. We call them masterminds. It's really about having youth from different areas of excellence that all come together, share their ideas and support each other, because we need to have a community that is united. Bring unity to the community, to have people around us that not only support us, but want to join us in our vision. And that's how followers become leaders.
Ma'am, I really thankful for your precious time. Today, we have learned a lot from you. A lot of questions are there in comment box. People are asking a lot of things, but we have limited time and we have only 2 minutes remain. In last, I wanna ask what you wanna share something, what you want to give message to our viewers for your, you can say, from this platform, from this platform.
Absolutely. From this platform, I would say, in the words of Napoleon Hill, what your mind can conceive, you can achieve when you believe. It's really about, when you look at education and skills, it's about recognizing that you have this gift right here between your two ears, this prime real estate, and you want to make sure that this head office has only positive information in it. So it's about debunking. It's about taking out all of the negative stuff that you've heard. Maybe you had people that were pulling you down or bullied or whatever it happens to be. It's time to empty that out and surround yourself with supportive people. And if you can't find them in this living world, then go online and you can find people that are maybe you don't even know, that inspire you, that encourage you. Start filling yourself up with positive messages and you're going to see your life change. Every day do that. And that's a way of programming your mind for a better and brighter reality. Always remember that you are here for a reason. Your very nature, you are listening to this message for a reason. You are a miracle. You have beat out all those other sperm to get here. And just recognize that you have an important mission to fulfill and you are part of a puzzle that is bigger than you can imagine. So never stop believing in yourself and take steps every day to improve your life and the lives of those around you.
Ma'am, it's an amazing message, and we have to implement this in our lives. Your remarks at end was very amazing, and I try my best to implement these remarks in our life. And it's a time when we have to end our session. Dear viewers, I really thankful for your presence in comment box, and your feedback was amazing, and you are appreciating our session, and especially you are appreciating Ma'am Cnythia Stone. She is Absolutely an amazing personality, and ma'am, I really thankful for your precious time. You are great in your work, and it's a time when we have to end our session. Dear viewers, we will be live soon, and it's a time when we are going to end this session. Hope you have enjoyed a lot. Thanks.
Absolutely.